Hello, my fellow smilers. Sitting up here at the top of a mountain, and Ellie happens to be on top of the picnic table on top of the mountain. And it has been quite a frustrating last few days. I have found that, well, not really difficult to smile because, you know, I'm still kicking. You know, it's a beautiful day and I woke up for it too. What more do you really need? But what has been a little frustrating has been the fact that I have spent 3 tanks of gas driving around all over these mountains of Virginia looking for a campground and still have not signed one. Took the day yesterday and did a little swimming, but also as we were driving around we stopped in a few different towns. Why don't you take a look? Something tells me this old historical town of the name I will tell you in a few because I haven't figured it out yet, just passing through. But man, is this an old historical town. But something tells me there wasn't any thumping back in 1776. You know? Figured it out. Scottsville. Scottsville is a very old town. I also figured out what year, around about 1880. I thought, you know, I was looking down there at that and thought that had to be the old jailhouse back in the 1800s. Where is the 44 Magnum on my hip when I need it? It is open too. Dadgummit. And I can't go in. Ellie, girl, you're costing me a museum visit. I hope you know that. You're gonna have to make that shit up to me. Oh, no you don't. You already have by being such a good doggy. The best. Hey, what? I just said you were the best dog and then you go trying to run across the street? The hell are you thinking? I tell you what, folks. That little girl back there, right there, that beautiful baby girl. We have had a blast today. You know, our first day solo on the new job. And I'm just saying, I think I'm gonna like this gig. Especially being able to have Miss Boo Bear herself in the back seat with Papa. That just makes my heart smile. And my face. Let me tell you what. She really likes Mexican food, just saying. Don't you, big girl? You like Mexican food. It's good stuff, isn't it? They even gave you a fancy shiny bowl. Well, we've got ourselves a dilemma, folks. This campground, this camp spot right here wasn't taken when I first, was taken, excuse me, when I first got here. But now it's not, and I wouldn't even have thought about this because, man, that's a huge, I should have never popped that zit. Damn it, I never learned my lesson either. But anyway, I mean, look at this. Let's see, this is like a perfect little spot with a fire pit right there and a creek right there. But I have to get my RV, and I'm thinking I can fit it between like that area right there, and then around that tree right there, and then swing it in to there. But I don't know if it's gonna fit. Stay tuned, y'all. This ought to get good. Some history on this street. Lexington, Virginia. This is too cool. And you know, we're talking like some serious Confederate shit going down in the 1800s in this area. I mean, these are probably like freaking generals' houses and shit. I have no idea if I'm right or wrong, but you sure would think, wouldn't you? So we're wandering around Lexington, and boy did I find something cool. Stonewall Jackson Cemetery. And there is some seriously cool shit in here that I just told you about, as I took a picture of myself instead of recorded the video. About, 3-4 minutes worth. Man, I hate when that happens. Erected to the memory of our Southern soldiers, 1884. I told you folks, this was some seriously Confederate shit right here. She found something in that tree that she wants to get, but baby girl, we're not gonna get a hey, please don't hang a dead man with our leash. That's just not very ladylike, honey. Goodness gracious, Ellie, we got to teach. We're gonna have to send you to etiquette school. Whoa, folks. That's some ornately cool stuff. Until the day break and the shadows flee away. Sounds like a man or woman with some demons. There he is, folks. A man with anger issues towards people that weren't like himself. Actually, the whole damn state had. You know? I mean, sure, we need to, you know, learn about it so it doesn't happen again, but to still have, you know, Buena Vista has a school, well, it's not being used, but why even have a school for, quote, colored folk? I mean, come on. You know, that's not history, that's just moronic. This is history. And a whole lot of it, folks. This is kind of cool. Father, mother, Louise and Margaret. I guess it's not sister. But can you imagine back in those days before automobiles and computers and cell phones, and I mean, life was so much simpler and slower. The key word slower, you know? I mean, people back then, they died a lot younger than us, but I bet you their lives felt a hell of a lot longer than ours, too. Just saying. Alright, we circled back around to the ones that I was going to tell you about. I'm not going to tell you about them. What I'm just going to say, or that I already did tell you about. There are some cool ass gravestones in Stonewall Jackson Cemetery. This is how one should have a yard. Either plant a garden in it or just have perennials that you don't have to do. You don't have to mow that, and it just comes back every year all nice and pretty. Oh shoot. This looks like a museum of some sort. Surely that ain't a house. Well, by golly, what is that? Why, hello there. How are you? I was just thinking, man, is that a museum or what? Huh? What? Oh, no, I don't want to come in. I was just wondering what it is, you know, but I see now it's a... Is it pretty nice inside? Yeah? You have a good one. Yeah, this is a very cool house. And probably expensive as hell to put mama or daddy in, I reckon. And there is some just old, historical, kick-ass houses on the streets of Lexington, Virginia. Is that like is there a river down there or something? Huh. These guys, I wonder what year you had to buy a house to get a lot this size. Any guesses? We'll make a game of it. This one's for sale, folks. Wonder what that sets you back in this town full of history. I don't know if you can tell how little that front door is, but doesn't that just seem a little? That is too cool though. I've got your quaint bungalow on the hill of Lexington, Virginia, folks, and a gorgeous evening it is. Would you like to buy a piece of history? If you buy a house in Lexington, you have to have fire porch lights, even if they're fake fire. Just saying. I mean, it's like a necessity. If you buy a house that freaking old, actually, I think you really should have real fire as your house lights. You can't even have electricity. You gotta use candles and lanterns if you buy a house in Lexington, Virginia. So prepare, you know, it won't be that bad. What a gorgeous, gorgeous evening. Folks, I can't tell you how blessed I feel to be alive. To be in this racist ass South. Racist but beautiful country. Just awesome out here, and I always have been a history buff, you know. I mean, history was my favorite. So, well, besides lunch, and well, I couldn't stand PE, and like anybody telling me when to run. I'm guessing this is where, I don't know, the blacksmith hung out or something. It's like a little horse stable. This is just awesome. I really do like it. You know, just seeing these things that stood hundreds of years ago. You know? There's something about it. Zoom back out. I found those zoom buttons, folks, and I just can't get enough of them. What are you doing? You crossing the creek there, Goofy? Whew, yes. Fun stuff, Dad. Big Boo. I know. I know, big girl. Good girl. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. Hey, you be careful on this side. It gets kind of steepy and rocky. Good girl. Smart girl you are. Hey, hey. Is there a car? I thought I heard a car. Oh, she did. Hey, be careful. Oh, she's having fun. You like the water, don't you? My baby. You make Papa's heart smile. But you know that, don't you? I promise you, she knows exactly what that's going to do to me. It's going to make me joyful. That's why she's doing it. That's why I just want to do things that make her feel joyful. Like bring her to these places. It looks to me, ladies and gentlemen, like we found ourselves a new spot. And man, just me and Ellie dig it. We dig the new spot, don't we? Yes. This makes me happy because I didn't know if I was going to fit around that tree right there and then this tree on this corner or between the concrete pad and that. But hey, power of positive thinking, folks. Hey, big girl. I know. So, unfortunately, I've been working at this 2 solid days by myself. Oh shit, hold on folks, I need a running start for this. Oh shit, I'm in my sandals. Damn. Probably right here. Yes. Somehow she talked me into hopping across with her. Elabelle! Yeah, you make it look so easy, don't you? Uh-huh. Good job. Good girl. She likes to show off. Hey! No. We're going back to our new site. But yeah, it's been 2 full days by myself, and you know, this might be a little harder than I thought. Actually, it's probably not. It's just that I haven't found my groove yet. But I haven't signed the campground, folks, so I'm gonna make it nice and comfy up here.